All right. We're going to talk about the last question of the homework. Shh. I will go through, make sure you understand all the homework question. So this is the first part, but I'll go through the picture first. That picture of this one. OBS is what? Oh, you guys seeing the OBS? Shh. Okay, so
Again? Come on. Why you gotta say something?
all right, so shh. So this is the question that we care about, which is the motion one. This one. Okay, so very, very important. You will have a velocity equation, velocity questions on the AP exam. Around 80% of the times, it will be on the calculator sections, which is great because you can press in the calculator, but you cannot just say that's the number, 0.713. What is 0.713? You have to say v prime of 4 is equal to 0.713 or something like that nature. You have to write down stuff. You cannot not write down stuff. Now, this is the question with no calculator, which has happened about 10 to 15% of the chance that it's going to be nonCalculator. Now, there's another 5% of chance that you might think is more recent test. It has 2 particles instead of 1. There are 2 particles, and they're both particles moving in different equations. So that one is we're going to talk about end of the year when we're doing the FRQ reviews. So that one is going to be more 2 particle situation. So recent tests, they've been trying to have 2 particles instead of have 1. So this one is a nonCalculator, and this is the pure algebra questions, and algebra and the calculus question. So this is a question that is a little bit harder, and and everybody says, yeah, this is a pretty easy question, except the last part, which is we're gonna get to talk about the last part, which is just calculus. You cannot. So you had to go through this each individual parts. So how do I find the acceleration functions here? Okay, let's take a derivative. Do you guys remember how to take a derivative? Okay, what's derivative of 1 over pi? Yes. Oh, I'm so glad I can hear that. You guys are awesome. Just by that, I appreciate it. Because 1 over pi is just a number, is a constant. When you take a derivative of a constant, it doesn't matter if they're 1 over pi. That 1 over pi is going to throw you off. Now, some people think about that's a different number, so you got to be careful. So here it's going to be 0. But what's cosine? What's derivative of sine of 3t?
Cosine of 3t times 3 times 3.
And Luca just got it wrong because he forgot the chain rule. And please.
You're gonna ask step by step.
Okay, sorry.
I'm kind of a fool like that.
Okay, so shh. I'm live streaming, so I want to keep a voice down. So, we probably basically you have to do chain rule. If you do chain rule, you're done. That's 1 point right here, +1, easy point, easy point. Everybody can get this point. The second one says write a position function. This one's slightly harder than before. So if I have this, how do I get from velocity to positions? Integral. So then we're going to write down integral sign. And you just by writing down this, they might give you a point already because you know you had to take integral. Now, I will do is integral of 1 over pi plus sine of 3t dt. Now, usually I have to write down dt because I have to know which thing I'm integrate of which variable. Because in your calculus, not 1, not 2, calculus 3, you're going to have dx, you're going to have dy, you're going to have dz, which is they call it triple integrals. You have to integral with 3 different orientation as opposed to 1. So in this case, we're just doing 1 orientation, which is 2 or times, not even x or y. So we just do it in 2 or times. So that's why it's dt. So this is time is that dimension that usually we don't account for, but it's there. So now integration of 1 over pi is what? T over pi, not x.
We're taking the integration relative to t.
Yeah. Okay, so now now what happened is integration of this one is kind of, you have to be cautious. You have to do u substitution, and if you use u substitution so many times, you're gonna find out there's a pattern. So u equal to 3t, so du must be 3 dt, and then du over 3 equal to dt. So, and as soon as you know that every time you do an integration of a sine or cosine or tangent of maybe a number over t, always end up to be resolved with 1 over that number. Why? Because if you integrate sine of u, and this one's going to be du over 3, so that's going to be 1 over 3 sine of u, integration du. Now I just change in t to u. What's integration of sine of u? Negative 1 over 3 cosine of u, which is 3t plus c. So it'll be minus 1 over 3 cosine of 3t plus c. And this is what people make mistake, is either that sign mistake or they didn't put on 1 over 3 in the front because that's a u substitution. Now, u substitution, if you do it so many times, you're going to find out that pattern is always 1 over that number of sine of number x.
Wait, is it t over pi minus 1/3 cosine?
T over pi minus 1/3 cosine of 3t plus c.
Oh, okay. I forgot when you integrated sine, it's negative cosine, not just right.
So remember, this is s of t now, but they say find position function. Should you have a c?
No,
Yes.
Well, you should have a c, but can you resolve the c?
you can.
How?
Because negative
you know the
4
initial
pi over 3.
Okay, so good. Andrew saying this is initial position. You have to take account into initial position because by writing this part, you get 1 point. By integral correctly, you might get 1 point. And then you're going to have to say, well, what is the value of c to get a last point? So therefore, they say is at 4, so that means position is at 4. Is equal to, well, this is a t, so t is equal to pi over 3 times 1 over pi. So the pi cancel out, becomes 1 over 3rd, minus 1/3 cosine of 3 times pi over 3. This is the argument, so 3 cancel out, plus c. Am I going too fast?
Yep.
4 minus 4 equal to 1/3 minus, well, cosine of pi is what? Negative 1 or positive 1? Negative 1. Okay, so I think I did screw up earlier. So it's going to be negative 1. So at this case, it's going to be positive 1/3, right? Oh, I didn't screw up. I got it right. Okay, so then you got c. C is equal to 10 over 3. How many of you guys got c equal to 10 over 3? Very, very awesome. Because that means you know how to take integral. That means you know how to do some easy u substitutions. And that also means you know how to find particular solutions. So there are 3 things, 3 elements here. And this is great. If you got through this part, it's fine. Now, what's part C is asking? Yes. Okay, so how do you supposed to do that?
The velocity and the acceleration, if the sign is the same, then it would be speeding up. If like say for example, if velocity was positive, but then acceleration is negative, then it would be slow.
So if they have opposite sign or they are the same sign, so basically you want to evaluate v of pi over 4. So let's go back. So it'll be 3 cosine of 3 times pi over 4. And that's 3 cosine of 3 pi over 4. Now I'm going to ask random you guys. Let's see. Who I want to pick on. Jake,
Oh yeah.
what's the cosine of 3 pi over 4?
Yeah, yeah.
Four is square root two over negative square root two over two.
Good job.
Thank you.
So it'll be negative square root 2 over 2. And that's equal to the negative sign, so it's less than 0. So you say, okay, so v of t is less than 0. How about a of t? Well, a of t we got from earlier. This is a, wait, that's a v of t. Oh, that's a of t. That's a of t, sorry. And then we're going to do v of t. So v of t is right here is equal to 1 over pi sine of 3 pi over 4. What is sine of 3 pi over 4? Square root 2 over 2. Good. So it'll be 1 over pi times square root 2 over 2. So it's a positive. So 1 is positive, 1 is negative. So therefore it's what?
Oh my goodness.
So this becomes a very good question here because you did two things. You plug in the value. You know your trig value. They actually ask you a little bit about trig. All you got to do is plug in. And that was not a hard issue, but everybody gonna have like nervous breakdown when it comes to trig.
Trig is scary.
Yeah, don't get scared. You know, you gotta intimidate Lim, not you intimidate by trig. You're gonna be like, what the F you looking at?
Beat up the trig.
Yeah. So the last part is kind of hard because most of you guys doesn't have solving trig skill. So we're gonna talk about that. So what we're gonna do, we set 3 equal to 3 cosine of 3t. I think. Yeah. So we set them equal to each other. Why? They say acceleration is equal to 3. Can I divide by both sides by 3? So that's equal to 1 equal to cosine of 3t. Now, here's a question you should ask to yourself. How do you get rid of cosine? Now, there's a way to get rid of cosine is by, well, it's not pi over 2. So you want to think about how do you get rid of cosine. The cosine is going to use the idea it's called inverse cosine both sides. So if you have inverse cosine, then you're going to be cosine inverse of 1, and cosine inverse and cosine is going to cancel out. It's going to be 3t. Now, when is cosine inverse of 1? That means when the x value is 1, what is my theta? Yes, Andrew. It's not pi. 0 and what? Or 2 pi. Good. Pi is going to give you -1 because it's on the other side of x-axis. So therefore, this one is going to give you 2 pi. Now, why did I choose 2 pi, not 0? The interval between pi over 2 and pi, and you're going to be like, 2 pi is not within interval. But wait, right? Wait, because that's equal to 3t. And then t equal to 2 pi over 3. Now, is that between pi over 2 and pi? That's perfect. But that's not what they ask. They say, what is the velocity? Guess what? You had to plug in 2 pi over 3 into a velocity equation. So velocity equation is equal to 1 over pi plus sine of 3 times 2 pi over 3. It turns out it cancels out nicely. 1 over pi plus sine of 2 pi, which is 0. So answer is 1 over pi. Beautiful answer, beautiful answer, beautiful answer, beautiful answer on all of them. Even though the work might be a little bit overwhelming, because this is the first time that you see a non-calculated motion questions, and it has trig involved. Now, the chance of this question show up on AP exam, very minimum, but the choice of this question show up on multiple choice, a lot likely, rather than on FRQ. And that's just my experience goes. I don't know, I'm not God, so I cannot say which questions on it, but I can tell you every year we can guess around 5 out of 6 questions. If we did 5 out of 6, we did excellent. Because technically, you can come up multiple choice. If you're an excellent student, you can come out multiple choice with a 4. I have some student that can almost get a 5 because they'll get around 44 question out of 45 question correct. Then that's roughly 52 points. That's almost, she can get a 0 on the FRQ and still get a 4. And she probably need like 2 questions correct to get a 5.
Oh, it's gonna be me, Mr. Yeah.
Okay, Will Robinson.
With this extra time, maybe.
It's true, I do get extra time.
Oh,
Dude, I'm gonna get a
that's I don't know. That's kind of mean to say, but
No,
but it's kind of truth. But
not anymore, bro. He uses this only for middle school.
Wait, why do you get
but to be honest with you, he never used extra time in my class. No, you never did.
Bro, don't you use it for? Didn't you use it for English today?
Oh yeah, I was like, can I come during lunch? So sure. I can't believe I said no when they offered me one. I'm such an idiot. Yeah, bro. Like it's not like it's like.
No, but the truth is, you were turning the test way before the time's out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But like, I would literally have a 1600 SAT if I had extra time. Okay.
That's probably.
The difference is I have like a 33 right now on ACT, which is pretty damn close to perfect. If I had the extra time, I could double check everything.
Okay, so here's the answer for the other one. So here's the answer for the second one. You can compare the answers. Any question, please let me know. Now, you only have to write down what's in the bubbles. You don't have to write down outside. Now, the syntax that they have, they say n derivative, comma, y1, comma, x, is those of you guys have older version of TI-83 or the older version of TI-84. So sometimes, like Xiang's calculator had to do this. I think Daniela's from 7 Pier's calculator had to use this. So some people using TI-83 or TI-84 original version, not a plus SE. So you have the derivative y1, comma, x. The comma x just makes d to the dx. And so yeah, so any question about these questions? This is 2008 FRQ. Yes.
I don't understand.
You don't understand C. That's a great question. Where's my cursor?
I see it. It's at the very top.
I know, I see it too. Hold on, let me see which one I'll be using. Is this come out okay or no?
A little bit further.
Is this come out okay?
That was my first.
Give me Friday.
Okay, so shh. What was the question that we want to deal with C, right? Okay, so we're going to talk about C. So what we're doing is we're going to graph in the calculator. And this is a calculator. Do you guys see that? Okay, so you see that they cross the x-axis. Will, I cannot talk over you. So you see this region, right? Because this is going up and down. So this region here is actually going up. So it starts at -1, and then it's going to go up. But how far they go, we don't know. But after that, it's going to go down. So this region is all go down. So after that, it's pretty much go down straight. It did not go up anymore. So basically, the highest point is going to be right here because you start at -1 and you're going to go up a little bit. So how do I do that? I'm going to do second trace, and I'm going to go to integral. and I'm gonna press enter. And the thing is, I have to find out where the x-intercept is. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do second calc. I'm gonna find zeros. And the 0 is gonna be here. So I'm gonna go to the left side and then press enter. Go to the right side. Press enter. And then press enter here is 0.443. So 0.443 is a point of interest. So what happened is I'm going to do a integrations of low bound. Integration is going to be second trace 7, 0, and 0.442 or 443, I don't know. And they will show you the area, but you see that's 0.0467. So it's going to be -1 plus 0.0467, which is becoming more positive. And then after that, it's going to go negative. So that's your furthest right. No, actually highest point, which is -1 plus 0.0467. Okay, but it happened at 0.443 the time. But if you want to know the position, you have to including your integrals between 0 to 0.443 as well as your initial positions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so on your test question, I guarantee you I'm going to ask you furthest right and furthest left. You have to analyze the endpoints as well. You have to analyze the critical point. In this case, is the critical point because after that is the product is going down, not up after that.
Wait, so the answer is 0.443?
That's the answer for this particular question. If the question asks you the time reach the furthest highest point. But if they ask you what is the position at the highest point, then it's going to be -1 plus 0.046 because 0.046. If I ask you the position instead of time. No, here is the integral from here to here and plus your initial conditions.
Yeah. So what if it asks for position?
Okay, so this is the next question. Let me know if you have any questions. Or you can do an integration. You can find out which side origin too. You can find out total displacement. Any questions?
Yeah. Does it ask for justification? Yes, it's justified.
And you need a calculator to take the test. So please bring your calculator.
Yeah, all is right. You just take an integral of 0 to 0.443.
Yeah, but you have to including your initial conditions. Because what you're starting off, it's going to be a start at -1 if we talk about positions. It was a -1. Okay, questions? Okay, this is the next two parts. Let me know if you have any questions. Just have to write down whatever is in the bubbles.
You go to menu and then go to the zoom thing, switch 4. And then click zoom out. I think it's 3. And just zoom out to get to the original. But don't click it and then go back and find it.
Are we okay here? Now you guys need to know how to use calculator because the calculator is gonna be your best friend on this test. Like the only time I'm allowed to use calculator will be like pretty much this test.
What the heck would you use a calculator this time?
Yeah.
That's so obvious.
Poker. You don't have to use it. Yeah, you can be like a real poker.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Like, calculators are for bums.
What'd you think?
Well, I'm like an alpha male, so I'm not worried about any difficulty or something like that. That's a made-up human concept.
Why is alpha male keep on getting F?
Because calc is secondary in the grind for my first grind.
Yeah.
Your mom.
It's so bad.
What can I say?
Prime condition.
I'm literally Michael Phelps in the pool.
On JD.
I was crazy, Mr. You should have seen me. I could have smoked a kid who was paralyzed. Like, first and third. Like, you put me against any middle schooler, I'm at least getting second place.
Quite accomplishment there. Quite accomplishment.
Anyone in the world is getting second place.
All right. So
Because I'm like that.
It's just like that.
all right. So I'm gonna give you a review question. So I'm gonna show you like what kind of question I can ask you, and I'm gonna give you a lot of parts.
At 5 part A, it says y2 equals n derivative y1, but why is the x? It goes x, comma x.
That's for the old calculator. That's for the TI.
So we don't have to do that.
On the side of your face cam.
What?
On the side of your face cam. Let's see your almonds.
I don't know. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you a questions, and then we're gonna ask you a lot of information. You're gonna learn how to use calculator, and you get to start with homework questions.
What you on the essays? You know that essay I wrote? I got a 95 on that. It's because Instagram.
Yeah, Mr. Graham never actually reads the essay. He just picks his favorites and he's like, he knows who scores high and just gives him high.
He always gives me A's on my essay.
Yeah, it's same. He always gets like 95.
Like, I don't think he actually
Maybe
reads
he
the
did,
essay
like,
because, like, I wrote like 8 parts of the essay.
Yeah, I have no doubt. He just Instagram is actually hot. He's everything. Every time I write something like he just like you like it. So if you write like something that's like
Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say there is a particle. So I'm gonna write my own FRQ questions, and so this equation is gonna be v of x is equal to e to the x times sine to the x.
Wait, what is this part?
Just a particle moving to the left and right.
Oh, this year.
Give me all of your calculus.
Why, man?
Why do you want? Mia would play Wordle.
Wordle.
That's like the type of Wordle. I don't even know what it is.
I haven't gotten the name yet.
Whoa, what's this crap? It goes.
And it's definitely the person that goes home like solitaire.
Okay, so shh. I'm gonna give you so I'm gonna give you a little bit harder. So at t equal to 0, t equal to, do I want to do 0? Sure, I do 0. When t equal to 0, s of t is equal to -2. So that's called initial condition. Do you guys remember that? T equal to 0, s of t is equal to -2. The part A I'm going to ask you says, okay, I want you to find velocity when t equal to 6. Find velocity when t equal to 6. What'd you say? When t equal to 6. Okay, so that's part A. Shh. Part B, I'm going to ask you when t equal to 2 pi, when t equal to 2 pi, is the object speeding up or slow down? Okay, so that will be the second question. And then you have to justify C. Can I ask you to find the total distance travel when between two different times, between 1 and 5? D.
Wait, is that 1 to 5?
Yeah, 1 to 5, yes.
Did I give you your gift card yet?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Alright,
You did, you give it to me. Thank you, I appreciate you.
I have one more gift card, and I don't know what teacher I didn't give
You can give me an extra one because you love me so
I
much.
do love you so much.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely considering it.
Okay, good.
Where you going? It's like late January.
Because, New Year's, I don't know.
Just give one to Daddy.
Because of Valentine's Day.
Yes, it's an early Valentine's present. I expect a thank you.
Yeah, will you be
No, you're not my type.
Let's do this.
Alright, that means my back.
Or of mine, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so do you know how to find the total distance travel? Can you find average velocity?
What is this?
Can you find average velocity between 2 to 5? E. Can you find average average acceleration? Between 1 to 5? Shh. Okay, so now, sure, can I slow down? Sure, no. Scroll down. Okay, so can you find a position when t equal to 3. Be careful about that one.
Go down a little bit.
Can you find the total displacement?
And we have 7 of these problems. No problem.
We do.
Okay, can you find the total displacement?
Can you scroll down again?
The last question, which is a very important one. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. H is very important.
Right, Mr. A.
Yeah, we can't see, but there's like a thing.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's
Okay, find the total displacement between 0 to 3. Can you find the object is furthest
it's right there, Mr.
to the right?
Yeah. I don't
That's pretty smart when you make it a bad, like offensive joke, and then you just like, yeah.
I would do that.
So between 0 to 4, and find the positions. This is all the motion question I can ask you. So of all these individual parts. Now, initial condition only apply 2 of those questions, and you gotta think about which one. Okay, it only apply 2 of this question.
Yeah, I'm stuck with A.
Okay, you're stuck on 8. Okay, so then maybe you need somebody to help you now.
Yes, it is. It's time.
Okay, so AJ.
Oh, I already did that.
No.
Do I just like put like Y1?
He means time. So what you
Do I
want
just
to
put
do?
Y1 and then go to
Well, here's the thing. You also want to take note of its initial position. It starts at negative 2.
We can stare at each other.
Oh, I'm gonna ask you one more question. Sorry, I'm gonna add one more. Alright.
No.
Find the time when the object traveling left between 0 to 7. So find the object is traveling left between 0 to 7.
Oh, that's it. Hold on.
I'm okay with it.
I'll do that for you right now.
So that'd be a variety of things. It'd be like,
It
say,
could be a
like,
bunch of integers.
say it'd be like 2 to 5 and
Yes.
6 to 7.
Oh, Arizona tea.
What?
Keep going. Keep going.
You're so annoying. You're like a purpose doing it. Like, on purpose.
No, this is distracting.
No, by me.
I can't even look at you.
Okay.
This is like a right on the Asim, how about get a problem done?
We're comparing answers.
Why are you going so fast?
Oh, yes, totally.
It's the integral of the.
What do you do?
value.
We got. Hey.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. What? You showed 42 like twice.
you guys are not even
What are you talking about? What?
We're literally like,
So, I think
no, I think we sacrificed Jake to the
oh, you probably have to do for X.
Give me your address. Yeah, you have your master. How's that? Yeah. Oh, what'd you get? Negative 112.7. Oh, that one is in calculation. Two table.
Yes, what's it mean?
This is
I think
You do into the next level and you
This person keeps texting, and I did not text them at all. They keep being like, well, you text I said like, oh, like, what are you talking about?
so.
And then I said, we have it. And now, like 2 hours
Wait,
later,
is this our homework or?
This is gonna be a homework and plus the one of actual FYQ.
so it's just this and one more. Like,
I did it. It's no, but
That's not the way, that's fine.
accelerated.
but like,
So you plug it in.
Let's go.
Happy birthday, you took it now. So, yeah, second
I
calc.
do know this person. I just.
I got into it after you plug it in. You plug it over, put the derivative.
When I go to this, it shows on the graph.
Probably. We kind of go the y.
Yeah. How do we get the derivative to show up on the actual like y actually too? Because like every time I do derivative, it just shows the graph and then shows like.
Can you say it out louder again? Sorry.
Oh,
What happened?
So I have this as down, right? And then I come here and then I do second calc. Then I go to this, but then it just shows the graph.
Oh no, you're gonna go to here. Why go to and go to here and go to map and derivative.
8, and then now put in x, and then I put y1 here.
R five.
And then x here, x equals to x.
X is equal to
Right. Now then I just do y2 equal to, or y2, and then in parentheses plug in 2 pi for b.
Yeah, you gotta do y1 and y2 2 pi, or you can do it in the table. Much
Okay.
easier to do a table and change your table set.
How do I do the table? I do it.
You do second window, second window, second window, window. Oh yeah, you already have this correct setup. Okay, go back, second table, and then just step in 2 pi here. 2 pi. Press enter.
1 is 0.
Yep. 1 0 and one has yep. Oh, then that's a bad question. Yeah, it's not speeding up or slowing down.
It's neither?
Neither.
Okay. Wait, Sheila, b is 9.
Stop feeding me. AJ, come on.
wait, whoa. Yo,
Hey, Paul, what are you doing? Hey, Jake, what are you doing? Hi, sir.
Bye.
I'll do that. Let's do it. For the play. Stop giving me your lunch, buddy.
Why you have chopstick?
Why not? If I need a chopstick.
Get a shot.
Yeah.
Hey, Melinda.
Which one's our last one?
Just pull it out of the pocket.
You know, but like the. Which chopstick? Oh my god. You got me. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I found you.
Yeah, you guys can go here. I saw the same accident too. You was going I did too. What are you better than I don't like the movie. Yeah, they're twins. He doesn't like to move it. We gotta come in. Why? It's part of the word. He's like frogs. What's that?
Hi. Yeah, that one is almost the same as your private. Can I see it? So it turns out it tells you how to use it.
It's pretty similar to the one.
Yeah, it's not different.
It's just a little faster.
Yeah, it's the same. It's this one and that one is the same. Exactly it.
So is there like a point having it? Is there a point between having this one over the other? No? So I can just return it?
That'll help you.
Because I did like look for that one. They gave me this one. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you go get a new one, if they go from again, fire, you take it.
Okay, no, Inspire, they already out.
They offered me
Oh, really?
Inspire. They didn't have the
You should just take a charger. Buy a charger.
I
Charger
have
is
an
not
Inspire
expensive.
at home.
Huh?
I have an Inspire.
Why don't you use that one?
Because I don't know how to use it.
It's like the E. It's super easy.
It's like super big to bring this.
It's just, if you know, you have like wide calculator.
I'm gonna return this one.
Exactly. What are you
This is actually heavier than Inspire. No,
It's
right?
very different.
backpacks are?
That one's really bad.
No, well, I bet you have a technical in your backpack.
No, you don't.
I didn't think it was as hard. Yeah. No, it was one of them.
Okay, did you guys bring calculator this time?
What about a calculator?
Did you charge it?
Your mom, your book is there.
What?
Yeah. I'm gonna go out and
How you have no charger for it?
Feels like my sister's birthday. Now I got after her now. I only got back to bed.
Does anybody have chargers?
I didn't bring mine.
Are you gonna go home?
My head.
Let me see this.
I'll see you for all your money. You don't give them no
Good Zach. Fire.
yeah.
Dude, me too. Walk home. Good. Anybody have a... Oh, is that work?
You can.
Whoa. See you on that. I've never touched the cross in my life. You won, actually. Don't use that. Inspire like the easiest technical world to use.
Inspire's the one you can use.
This is like, this is kind of, Inspire, you can open up the menu to see actually. Okay. You wouldn't have a mouse. Yeah. I got counting on board.
On the calculator?
Yeah.
My graph.
You could get one to work on
I
these.
made a little picture.
Oh, shoot. I thought that was like a photo. They like literally Oh, it's a photo. You like record it?
Guys, I have to return this anyway.
I asked you one to, and you're like, I haven't used it. I was like, okay, that was the biggest fuck you. You'll probably say that because you thought what it was. I was actually trying to tell you. You thought, oh, the other one, the other guy. This is like the one they had when Olympia opened up. Like what, 2004, something like that?
I've been using is one lower than this.
Exactly. The Lloyd Olympia opened up.
Why does this thing graph is so slow?
There you go. It's processing. Wow. So they're not. What,
Like I hit graph and then.
Hey, are we doing this now?
See, look.
Hold on. I'm gonna charge this damn calculator. All right, good. Okay, so shh. Let me go over the other question first. You guys completely understand these questions, right?
Maybe a little bit.
Completely wrong.
Fraction is more
Number 4.
Yeah, but do you understand that? Because you didn't have a calculator. So maybe you should go back and redo it again. Because your test is on Thursday.
Yeah. Getting my wisdom. So I won't be here Thursday, Friday, and possibly Monday. No. Or Tuesday. We'll see how that goes.
It's just a wisdom teeth. I pull out 3 at once. I show up the next day.
Yeah, but every time I get the what's it called, the anesthesia or whatever, like I get migraines. I don't know why. But both times that I've gotten migraines for like a week.
What is it, bro? It's like years. Years.
Okay, so shh. We're gonna go over this other question first. I don't know what's other question, but this is a
Oh, it's a photo question.
yeah, the photo question. Yes.
It was like, the PDF? Is it
Oh yeah, I did that one.
Okay, so this one's a fairly easy, especially at the very beginning. It gets harder and harder. The first one should be v prime of t equal to 3 cosine of 3t. And that's the easiest 1 point you're going to get. Because there was a chain rule, but people is going to forget the 3 in the front. So do not forget the front. There's a 3. Yes. You can write a of t. Oh, you have a homework done? Oh, wow. Good job. Don't that's a football game on Sunday? There's a lot of good football game on Sunday, right?
I'm not really a fan of those teams.
The Bucks lost.
Thank the Lord.
I don't like the Bucks. I don't like Tom Brady.
Yeah, they suck.
Did you say Jack?
Jets.
Oh, that's Jack's worse.
Yeah, Jags are worse. But you actually have to say that the Jets are worse because at least the Jags know how to lose. Like the Jets, like they lose a lot, and then by the time it doesn't even matter, they start winning. It's like, damn, now we can't get a good win.
All right, so shh. This is the first part. The second part, you should know how to take integration because it went from velocity to position. How do you do that? Integrate them.
Anyway,
So you should get s of t equal to t over pi plus minus 1/3 cosine of 3t plus c. You kind of require u substitution there.
You can find C.
Yeah, you can find C, right?
Yeah, I find a c afterwards, and I got c equal to 10 over 3. You cannot use a calculator. This is non-calculator part.
so there's gonna be like sections on the exam. They tell you to use calculator.
That's so
Okay, so shh. Xavier, let me answer Derek's question. Yes, there are a section of parts. So when you receive the first thing on the test, you're gonna fill up your name and stuff like that. After that, you're gonna have a multiple choice, 30 question multiple choice with no calculator. That takes about an hour, about 2 minutes per question. So 2 minutes times 30 equal to an hour. So you got first hour, no calculator. Now you got 30 minutes with calculator, which is answer your 15 question and multiple choice. And that 15 question that you're gonna do with calculator, only about 7 to 8 has calculator on it. The other 6 or 7 question is mostly likely to be conceptual. And calculator doesn't help you either. So roughly there are probably 35 questions without calculator, only 10 questions with calculator. Now with that being done, you still hold down your calculator, you're gonna finish your first 2 questions FRQ. Each FRQ is gonna be 15 minutes. So, and that's a part that you can take a break. Why? Because the 15 question with calculator and those 2 questions with calculator of FRQ, you should have like take a small nap after each section. Just don't get past the nap, and hopefully you do wake up. So yeah, they just start without you.
The psych exam, and then he just woke up. He sat next to me, so. Well, he didn't. He didn't sit next. Like, this is me, Robert. That's my favorite over there.
I would have thrown something at him. All right, so you got a 15 question with calculator, and you got 2 FRQ with calculator. They are continuously. So you're gonna have 1 hour no calculator, 30 minutes without. 1 hour with no calculator, 30 minutes with calculator, and 30 minutes with calculator. The second one is 2 FRQ. This one is more likely to be one of them. Okay, so you got 2 questions of FRQ, and then after that, you got 1 hour no calculator. So by the time you taking that 1 hour part, it's gonna be you're mentally pretty much completely drained. So that you have to grind for do the last 4 questions, especially the last one. And you can pick the parts you know how to do. You cannot pick the parts that you just get quick sended in 1 questions, and that's just gonna get stuck. So you're gonna pick the one that you can get as much point as, and then you get all those points first, and then go back to figure out the one that you didn't know how to do. So for example, that the first one finding acceleration, the second part is finding the position. Those are the 2 questions you can do. Just do those 2, and you don't want to do. Let's just say you don't know how to do part C, then just kind of leave it that way it is. Just leave it. And you don't know how to do part D, you come back to figure out. So once you did everything, you come back and you say, okay, I think I remember how to do C. That's just a comparison between acceleration and velocity. You're going to plug in pi over 4, and you're going to see the sign. At this case, the sign is 1 is less than 0, 1 is greater than 0. So if it's 1 is less than 0, 1 is greater than 0, it's slowing down. And you just answer 3 parts. So all the way to this point, you have 6 points. Now, 6 points out of 9 points on every single question, that's good enough for you to do fairly well, including the knowledge in MCQ. So let's just say 60% of the test, well, 66% of the test, that's enough for you to get a 4. Now, if you actually get 7 out of 9 on each questions, then you're in a good shape. 7 times 6 is 42 points. And that means you only need 30 points to get a 5. Which is kind of hard, but still. That's why you want to get as many points in multiple choice. Because you want to, for me, like I'll give you a lot of practice exam. Your 4th quarter grade is going to be based on the mock exam that you're going to take. You don't have any other grade. You don't have no homework grade. Or you do. Because you don't do homework, you're going to fail. So you pretty much just only 1 grade I'm going to go in. The 1 grade is your mock exam score. Yep. And then you will keep on taking it until you pass. You can keep on taking it. You can take more than once. You can take it twice. You can take it 3 times. You can take it 4 times. You can take as many times as you want. If you score a 4, technically for everybody, if you score a 4, except some individuals should score a 5. For example, like Tyson or Xavier. If you guys don't get to 5, then I won't give you a grade. I will give you the grade you want at least. I want you to get all the way to 5. Those people on the list, including Robert, Basil, and Zach and Joe. Yeah, you are included, Robert. All the group leaders should have a 5. If you don't have a 5, you're gonna work toward a 5. Okay. Now, every grade, let's just say Derek, for example. Derek doesn't have to earn a 5. You got a 4, I'm happy. You got an A. If you got a 3, you got a B. 4, 3, 2. Then kind of like I'll give you a C, but then that's not the grade you want. So, of course, you have to go toward a maximum score. You can take as many times as you want. I won't mind to sit here with you and just take as many times as you want. I don't think you can, but honestly.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, I might be honest truth. I'm not hiding.
I did the same thing to my psychology teacher once.
All right.
No, I didn't pay attention the entire year. And then I studied like 2 days before and I passed.
Yeah, but that's not getting a 5. 5 and passing
Well, I
are a
got
little bit
perfect
different.
score on that.
I don't know. You're not supposed to know your perfect score FRQ. All right. So yes.
Do we have to find the? Do we have to find C for B? Or no?
Do you have to find C?
Yeah, like if we plus C, do we have to find that?
Yeah, you do have to find the plus C to get the last point. If you know how to take integral to down to this part, you're gonna get plus 2 out of 3. If you got C, then you got 10 over 3. It's gonna get your last points.
How are we supposed to do this without calculator? I still don't understand.
You're supposed to do this without calculator. I just did it for you.
What do you mean?
You want me to redo it again?
AFP, blah, blah, blah. It's okay, I'm not gonna do that. What was part G then?
Okay, part D. Shh. Does any question before I move on? Does any part that you need me to go over? I'll go over part B again.
What are the answers for C?
Okay, that's fine. I'll go over part B. So integration of that. Sorry, let me integrate. If I integration of that, that's going to be 1 over pi times t. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. What's integration of sine t? I did this on this side. I said u equal to 3t, du equal to 3 dt, du over 3 dt. So then I'm going to do integration of sine u du over 3. I take the 3 outside, and I integral of that. So it's going to be negative 1/3 cosine of 3t plus c. So this one is going to be minus 1/3 cosine of 3t plus c. How's the calculator going to help you here? Nothing.
No, I know, I just used find C.
Oh, find c, then you had to plug in pi over 3 because that's the initial condition. So this is s of t, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to plug in 4 and equal to 1 over pi, and I'm plugging t, which is pi over 3, minus 1/3 cosine of what? 3 pi over, I think 3 pi over 3, and plus 1. So that's equal to 1 over 3rd. And this one is minus, this is negative 1, so it'll be plus 1 over 3rd, plus 1, plus c, sorry. And then c is equal to 10 over 3 after that. The calculator does not help you at all. So even with the calculator, it does not help you. You need to know how to take integral.
Thank you.
Is any question before we move on? Not just integrations.
What are the answers for C?
Oh, hold on, let me answer Robert's question. I'll answer yours. Yeah.
Is there a way like to roughly guess like how many points each question is gonna be worth? Or-
Yeah, so if I were to guess, this is a 1 point here. Now, I will guess this one is probably give you 2 points for the correct integral. And if you see it correctly, it's going to be 1 point. So this is going to be 4 points total.
Maybe 2 points.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so yeah. So I hear you will get probably 1 point for the A of t, and 1 point for B of t, and 1 point for justifications. So plus 1 for justification. So justification, you're going to be, say they have opposite sign. If they have opposite sign, then it's slowing down. And I hear you probably get the last 2 points here to get all 9. So the last part is harder because you're going to set the acceleration is equal to 3. And you're going to divide by 3 on both sides. And that's going to be cosine 3t equal to 1. Now, require a little bit of trigonometry skill. This means what? This means inverse cosine of 1 is equal to 3t. But what's inverse cosine of 1? That means on unit circle, when x equal to 1, which radian is going to be true? There are 2 answers for that one. Or there was infinite amount of answer. Yeah. So The answer you should get is 0 or 2 pi. So what we're going to do, we set 2 pi. We don't set 0. Because 0, then you're going to get solve for t. That's going to be t equal to 0. But I'm going to set a 2 pi and divide it by 3 on both sides. If I do that, t is equal to 2 pi over 3. Yes.
Isn't it supposed to be within the interval that it gives you?
It doesn't matter. Now it's within the interval. Do you see that? 2 pi over 3 is between pi over 2 to pi. Because that's why we set it to 2 pi. If I set it to 0, right? 0 equal to 3t, t equal to 0, that's not within the interval. But 2 pi is the result. Is whatever here is going to be 2 pi. So 2 pi is equal to 3t, t must equal to 2 pi over 3.
So it has to be in that boundary once it's plugged into the equation.
Yes.
Got it. So for me, I used. But mine wasn't even the thing. I used pi over 3.
Oh. Yeah, so what you're going to do is inverse cosine of 1 is going to give you either 0 or 2 pi. And, well, if you do cosine inverse, technically, you're not going to get 2 pi because it's out of range. But basically, you want to think about when cosine equal to 1. So let's ignore this part. That when cosine equal to 1 has to be either 0 or 2 pi. So I set it equal to 2 pi. 2 pi is equal to 3t, t equal to 2 pi over 3. Now, I'm going to plug it back in the velocity to get the second point. So this is the first point of 2 pi over 3, and you plug in, you're going to get a second point here. So this is a non-calculator question. Yes, Ferris?
Well, I used 0, but I still got the right answer in the end. But I still get like a point for the correct answer in the end.
Yeah, actually, the funny thing you say that. The question will be no. The answer will be no. The reason being is if you plug in the wrong value, you actually plug in 0. 0 is not within the interval, so they can't even give you the first point, not the second point either. Unfortunately, like I would give you a point if I were the grader, but I'm not a grader. They're gonna go by whatever is instructed on their paper, and that paper is probably more likely gonna say has to be they had to find the 2 pi over 3 first and to plug in to get 1 over pi, not the 0, because you base on the thing is wrong, because 0 is not within the interval. The reason why they think that way is because they want a student to be able to read the questions and to read and understand the interval difference. Yes?
Do you have to show how you got 2 pi over 3, or can you go like through the interval and like plug it in and then get 3? And then...
I would do how will I get a 2 pi over 3? Okay, yes.
Do you have to write down inverse cosine?
No, you don't actually write down inverse cosine. It's a bad idea. I just realized inverse cosine of 1, it has to be 0, not 2 pi, because inverse has a restriction. So it's much easier to think about when is cosine equal to 1. So cosine equal to 1 has to be 2 pi. So cosine inverse has a restriction between 0 to pi. So technically, you should not get to 2 pi. So that's actually a bad idea. That was my fault. Yes?
Can you explain how you got 2 pi over 3 again?
Sure. Think about when cosine of 3t is equal to 1. So cosine of 3t equal to 1. That means cosine to a value, a radian on unit circle is going to give you a 1. The only one that give you a 1 is on the right side of x-axis. Because that unit circle, so for example, on unit circle, the only time they give you a 1 is like this location right here. So it has to be 0 or 2 pi. Not pi. Pi is going to give you -1. So that is the things you have to think of. Yes.
So, and I remember what I did. Because it's much easier to realize like when cosine equals 1. If I just write down like 2 pi over 3 equals t, like, but I didn't show any steps.
Did you show this step?
I think I
Did you write down y equal to cosine 3t? Or you jump straight from here to here?
Yeah, just straight.
Okay, that's possible to get that point. The thing is, some people can think of their head. They say, oh yeah, that's just 3, that's 2 pi. It has to be 2 pi. So that's possible to get a point. And the more likely you might get a continuous point also if you got a first value. So they call it continuation. Continuation is once you get one value, you plug into the other one to get another value. Now, sometimes you don't need a continuation. So, for example, you solve t equal to, for example, you thought is 3 pi over 4, and you plug in 3 pi over 4, and you got a new value is not matching the answer. That may give you that point, but they won't give you the first point. But usually this type of question require a continuation. So there are two type of rubric. One is rubric is talking about whether you can, because you might get a mistake on the first one, you thinking wrong, you got confused, and you plug in to get the wrong value on the second one. They might still award you the second point. So you still go ahead and do as much as you can. You don't stop just because you're not sure of that value. Or you can fake it until you make it. You can say that was 3 pi over 3, and you have no idea. Just pretend that you calculate wrong because you don't know. You want to get the next part done too. You plug in that into that. So technically, for me, I would give that point, but I really don't know about the grader. They talk about the rubric is going to talk about a continuation or non-continuation questions. Was it continuous based on the first one, or I think physics have something similar as well, right? So you might not get a first point, but you'll get a second point if you plug in the wrong value into the second situation. So you might have the point. I don't know because I don't want to grade those paper. I hate grading. There's no way you're gonna ask me to sit 3 days to grade 257,000 paper on the same questions. No. Well, if you jump from this step to step, but if you write down this, so for I were you, I would write down the next step, and then you say it's 2 pi over 3, they should give you the point. Yeah, you do have issue about skipping step, but they have a lot of students like you to skip a lot of steps. So people like Connor Schwartz will definitely do that. I heard he was a pitcher as well before. And what happened to him? He don't pitch anymore? Okay. Yeah. So Connor Schwartz is that type of student that will show very minimum step, but he will play in the game where he'll always get all the points necessary. So Connor's like that. So he just do efficient to get the points. So I seem like you and Connor is very similar in that perspective. Yes.
What are the answers to C?
So I just put a well, Connor's okay. He's a goofball.
Yeah, I think he's better now. I haven't talked to him.
No, I can imagine when he was freshman, it's probably really bad, and progressively get better. And I think everybody's like that. And some people are. So like me, I had to talk to him a couple times, and recently I just kind of told him says we can reach in common ground. So. Yeah, it was you were there. You were there. Yeah. Yes. Daniela. What is the answer for part C? It's gonna be slowing down, and because 1 is less than 0, 1 is greater than 0. I'm gonna go to this part here.
So like, don't we have to find the actual answer?
Yeah, you do. You will get negative square root 2 over 2 for the first one, and you got a square root 2 over 2 pi.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused on like left, right, like speeding up, slowing down, and like increase and decrease. Like I'm confused on the difference between that.
Okay.
Is left and right, is that only velocity and then?
Shh. Derek, I cannot hear the question. Yes.
And then,
Guys, I cannot hear the question, so maybe that's gonna help you. Yes.
Is left and right only the like if it's left, is the velocity?
It's negative.
And is that like the only factor, or does the acceleration have to do with it?
No, left and right has nothing to do with. If it's particle traveling left, its velocity is negative, or traveling down, its velocity is
So if it
negative.
has like negative velocity and negative acceleration, it's still going left.
Yes,
Okay. And
it's just a speeding up on left.
Okay.
And you can be positive, and spin right and positive. Yes. Ferris?
For part C, then if you get the point, do we have to like say the number that it is?
Okay, so that part I don't know. Like for me, like I think evaluation was the one point that you have to know your trick. Now again, this question more possibility to be on the multiple choice rather than FRQ because usually motion they put in the calculator part. This is a very rare one. I think 1 out of 10 years they put a non-calculator one in 2012. But that was like 8 years ago, so that possible they rotate back. I don't know. Okay, so this is the answer for other ones. So you can check whether answer for other ones. Derek, if you have a calculator, you better learn how to use it now.
Yeah. How did you say I was supposed to reset it?
No, your calculator, I don't know how to reset.
Oh, there.
But I think you can. Wait, I don't think you want to reset it though because you have stats stuff in there. Is that important? Don't reset it in file.
I don't need to do anything?
No, just charge it.
Yeah.
It's just a critical battery. Not as if it's gonna explode, but that is really low.
Explode. Yes. Can I go over C on this one? Yeah, that's a good question. I have done it in the thing. So let me see if I can do it again. I don't know why there's ants in my thing. I guess I have food on my table. But I don't think ants eat Subway, do they? No. I don't think they eat Subway. Yeah, 0.443.
I said yes, she'd have to do it. But I'll be paying.
I don't understand. Didn't we just take the end of it?
Yeah.
Or reach the highest point?
Highest point is when the velocity come into x-axis. So if you graph a velocity function, so you got to graph your velocity function, you have to find the zeros between the velocity went from positive to negative. See if you can do that.
Can you go backwards, please?
Sure.
I think it's bad. Like optical.
Oh yeah. You're so funny. You can't. Yeah.
So you really need to know how to operate your calculator by this Thursday or Friday. Yes, you have a test on it. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a question with all the multiple parts. I just. All right, so shh. Now, number 3 is this is the answers for all of them. Now, for your TI-84 people who have TI-84, please make sure the difference between negative sign and subtracting sign. So when you type this equation in the formulas, please using subtracting sign. Please using the negative sign, not subtracting sign. So if you try it right now with the calculator. If you type in subtracting sign, parenthesis t plus 1 sine of t squared over 2, you're going to find that if you have TI-84, it's not recognize your negative sign because you use the subtracting sign as opposed to negative sign. So TI-84 has a subtracting sign and negative sign. You got to use a negative sign in this case. If something's negative, use a negative, not subtracting. So try it with the graphing calculator. You can find out a lot of things cannot be graphed. Yes.
Do you have to draw the number line?
Do I have to draw a number line? No. But number line helped me to knowing what I'm doing.
On the PI-84, how do you go back?
Huh?
How do you like X something, like delete something, without clearing the entire thing?
There's a delete button.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm stupid. I see it. Wait, it doesn't work.
I have a question. Like, if,
Whoa.
what if I like forgot about the interval and I put like another value
Oh my
with
gosh.
this?
Go to
Can I lose a point because of that?
Back. I'm back in it.
Perfect.
Alright.
Negative.
Okay, just off the point.
Parentheses.
Oh, hypothetical.
X plus 1.
Wait, can you go back to 3?
Can you go back? Yeah. Perfect.
In parentheses.
Song speed.
Joanne, do you know how to use a calculator?
Wait, sorry. So back. Speed.
And Ethan's being stubborn.
Okay.
He told you that he just learned.
And see this, could do control.
I'm just gonna use his stubbornness.
You see that reference symbol above it? And then you're gonna put X squared. X, and then there's this one, the handy square, no, there it is. What's the noun? Perfect. And then there's that charge. Right. It's so convenient. Wait. Oh,
It's
it's
very slow. The light on the parking floor.
Oh, by the way, this is gonna be your,
What's gonna be on our
that's gonna be your.
Velocity accelerations. And there is one more thing I need to cover. It's called net rate tomorrow.
And then that one question that was on our last test.
Like you see all this?
Oh, all the integration, you're supposed to know how to do it. It could be any questions.
The last test was only half of the test, and it took like the entire class.
Not supposed to take an entire class.
Yeah.
But are you gonna like repeat the stuff outside of like rhyme sound stuff?
No Robin stuff? Alright, cool.
Thank you.
Raven sum you will see on the final exam.
Oh, also, whenever you.
Mock exam like 1,000 times. So I'm not worried about that
3
part.
points. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, wait.
I don't know. I haven't graded yours.
It's like I get the entire
Wait,
person.
you said you haven't graded mine?
You see this?
Yeah, but I did saw something you did wrong. I don't know where though.
Can you grade it? Tell me my.
So you'll either use, the derivative,
Fail.
or this integral or that integral without the.
I'm
No,
really
the
confident.
derivative of this, or the one acceleration.
If I did 5.
Okay, well, you press X for like, and then it's right? No, don't X. Oh my gosh. You gotta go back. No, down. Down.
Okay, are we okay here?
Perfect.
Four.
No, wait. Okay.
Okay, but I get the idea. And then
Okay.
put in the X.
No, and then you don't do it again.
Wait, do I have to do like pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, or can I just say 3.14, 6.2?
6.28 is fine.
Yeah, I did 6.28, 9.425, 12.566, and 15.7.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry about that. Delete.
What?
So you put X here and watch this.
Ah,
Instead of doing the whole equation again, I can just say with the X,
see, I don't recognize the
Parentheses.
pattern.
X, enter,
I typed it in the calculator and then.
and it gives you the derivative. You can just say F1 of X or whatever the equation is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No, this is so much better than 84.
No, it's not about a calculator. It's about the people that's using calculator.
It's convenient.
And you call yourself a catcher.
I didn't catch anything.
Mr. Ye, can you scroll down?
Sorry, that was giving. So
I really want this. It's not calculated.
you should have caught it. Then that'll be more impressive.
I didn't. Nobody. What?
You're a catcher for God's sake. But other people cannot catch it, then that's okay. But
Like, did a little flip.
He can write. He can get circles not
Mr.
ready.
Ye,
I mean, it's hard to be bad.
Just say it.
A lot of them are excited they're
what?
Just say it.
it's hard to be bad to catch them all.
Mr. Yeah, is acceleration decreasing the same as speed is decreasing?
No. Not entirely.
Well, if I say acceleration at t equals 2 is negative whatever.
You have to compare both. If
Speed increasing is it velocity and acceleration.
Oh wait, no. Said I forgot period. Acceleration at t equals 2 is whatever, and then I just wrote decreasing because v2 and a2 have opposite signs.
all right, so shh. I'm gonna talk about one question. I didn't talk about other class, but this one is gonna be. Hold on a second. I just write a question. I don't know where they are.
Is it a homework question or?
So I'm gonna change this instead of 2 pi. I'm gonna change it like 6.23. Actually 7.23. Okay, I'm gonna add one more part. Hij. I wanna see find the time. Yep. When speed is equal to 2.5. When speed is equal to 2.5 between 0 to 4. Okay, between 0 to 4. So how do you do that? That's going to be the hardest part of your homework, is how do you find the time when speed is 2.5? So we're going to start with the first part. You're going to understand how to use calculator. And so I have some calculator already charged. If you want to use that, that's fine.
Is this all for one page?
Trust me.
Well, you have to give me back though.
Wait, don't you just have the absolute value of
So Daniela, you can use this one.
like,
And just put back the charger after you're done. You don't want number 2.
We did. You didn't have a preference card.
That's an alpha male thinking.
did you
Oh,
for the last one, isn't it just like the absolute value of b of t and then set it equal to 2.5?
and then every time you do math,
It's a
it's
BMX, not a T.
But you want to find the time. Huh? Alright, then you can use this one because this one's similar to yours.
Take yours.
But you got to give it back though.
Oh.
And you had to find the charger for that.
Okay, what's the
Huh?
If you want this X function, you have to do like
They have same charger. They both have same charger.
Look how nice this is inspired. Look how easy to use that is. So nice.
I really don't think it's that much better. I think it's
The ease of use is so much better. Like this one, I needed you to like teach me how to use it, like variable bars, window, stuff like that. But this one I figured out.
Click parabola and you click it,
Just to get
add graphs.
for 2 and 3, I didn't get for 2, and then for 4, I didn't get A or B. I'm confused on that.
so this is a homework question, so you can start with first part. Practice going through it.
Is this our only question or we have-
This is a lot of question, a lot of parts.
It's one question, all that part. That's it.
Oh, I will give you other FRQ. This is the first one.
Wait, we have that long?
No, the other one's actual FRQ. What it look like?
Just one more. I'm getting home at 8 o'clock today.
Why?
I have to volunteer at my wrestling at the kids club wrestling
Oh, cool.
for an hour right after practice for 2 hours.
I don't know if you saw this Instagram of like they were in a karate competition and this little kid and one kid just kicked the other kid and the other kid's like flipped over and like laying down. It's pretty funny. He was like so exaggerated. Like person that kicked and 3 seconds later he was like lay on the ground. It's like boom.
No, your fault. We hear them belong, right?
Yep.
I won't like to
World clear. That's fancy.
Okay, you're having too much fun with that too. What's the third one?
I need to play video games.
You have to like download it on your computer and then.
Anybody just recently got a calculator? Raise your hand just recently got your calculator. Nobody?
Oh,
I mean,
you need the key.
this one.
No, I needed somebody who got a new one, TI-84, so I can.
Wait, power what?
I think about just buy one, open it, return it, get a license, and just walk away. Or I was thinking about just open the case, take a picture of license, and walk away.
It's cheating the system.
What's a teacher?
I'm sorry, that's not the right one. I'm just gonna put it back. I just need the damn license of somebody who keep the box.
My sister might still have a box.
She does. Please ask her.
I can't find sign.
Oh yeah, but see, on your live stream, we can't see the calculator.
So I did a new one today that I pressed in the key.
Yeah, you can say T equals 7.23.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna borrow your graph.
Phonograph, second trace, and then there is an integral sign.
They made me tell me how to do it.
Yeah, but you, I don't think it's.
Oh, wait, how do you actually like a number with the number instead of trying to say go over that?
Yeah. Got it.
Lower limit. Like, they're just. How do I make it actually set the number?
Okay, depending on which one you want to do, so you kind of have to dictate. So let's just say if I want to grab, I don't want to grab the other one, right? And I just want the area on the curve. And obviously you don't see the up and down, so that's kind of bad. So you might want to zoom out a little bit.
You didn't eat to the 7.23.
Okay. So now if I want to do, what do you want? You want to integral from here
Integral
to?
from 0 to 5.
Okay, 0 to 5. So then you want to do it outside screen. You're going to go math. And they're going to go 9. And 0 to 5. You can do it inside there too.
Yeah, do it outside.
You can do it inside just as well. So you're going to see both ends are the same. Negative 91.7. You can do it from here. It's actually slightly easier because they actually graph it for you. 0 to 5. And they actually did this for you.
And it gives you a value.
It's more long.
Oh, learn how to use it. See, you got it. Look. If you want to either trick off, great. And you trick off several.
That would be displacement.
Right.
Huh?
It would be displacement because I needed to be absolute value.
Absolute value be second 0. And then you will see the first thing on the top.
So I actually the equation in the original one. That'd be the easiest way to get it.
No, you just do it outside screen, do it integration absolute value of y1. So you don't have to change the y1.
Yeah. And it's 9. You have to do 5.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Second mode. Got it. So that's just going to a calculator screen.
Okay. How do you know if it's beating?
Derek, when you come back, you're gonna forget everything. So I will.
Derivative. Oh my god. That's so nice. Wait, taking a derivative.
I might forget a lot, but I watch YouTube videos.
The problem with the video.
Yo!
Huh? That's absolute value. That's the first thing. You can say absolute value of var function y, and this is going to be
And
x.
so it's just the first one.
Huh?
The second.
second 0, and then put it into
Yeah, yeah. Just do the integration the first one. Yeah.
They just graphed it. Yeah, I just graphed it.
Yeah. Have practice problems. Oh, we're just gonna go in and fail. Because right now it's too late to talk about practice question. Usually gonna go in to see what the question look like, what does first time S look like. I don't expect you guys to be the first place, and I don't expect you guys to be the last place either. Just don't get the last place. So if you answer nothing, you're not gonna get the last place.
Where is it?
Orlando Science.
Science. Time.
8:30. I'll tell you guys more about it tomorrow.
There's more light here. Is there like there?
It's pretty confusing in general, so I don't know how to use that well.
Dang, did Daniel look good?
Holy sh!
I am gonna come during lunch.
Let him finish his food.
Our test is in 2 days.
Because
She left her out.
What?
Joanne! I don't have her phone number, so.
exactly what
I don't want to walk on go. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. They feel bad. I don't see her in the hallway, so I'm not going. I don't see her in the hallway. He walked there. Well, that's worth speaking about. It's really not funny. I can have something that. Wait, do you want help on the homework now? Yeah. This gosh. Where did Mr. Yeager? I don't know. I think he disappeared. I didn't see him walk out. Like, if I go take a piss, are you guys gonna like be like drugs on your bag? No. We're all gonna be like, y'all boys better not even start coming back. Hey, and if someone's taking my shit, you guys will never see the light of day again. It's true. He beats up hooligans in the bathroom. I tell him. It's happened before. Yeah. You don't know what happened. Well, he's beating what? He's beating up hooligans in the bathroom before. You know, hanging around and smoking. Hey. I said he's beating up hooligans. No, sorry. Who were smoking? A lot of kids walking around. It's very awkward. You can this becomes a super table after a while. So you do that. Yeah. I need to record the height attendance. Besides Katie, I don't. Katie's the. It's Nicole. Hey, I don't know if she takes her time to do it. Oh my gosh, yeah. I would never make this as a group chat. I would just send it myself.
Okay, so I make 2 videos, and they're both videos that kind of go through here, but you can practice through the whole question. This is actually a calculator section. Do you bring calculators?
I haven't seen that in the
That's fine. That'll work.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make right now, so that way you can.
Whatever I told you, whatever I put it on, do that, no matter what. Is it connected?
Is there a Bluetooth on?
Yeah, it's a Bluetooth. Alright. Okay, good. Because it doesn't fail as a transfer.
Okay, but I have a TI Aspire TX2.
So
And so I don't know if it has the same functions, but I know it doesn't have the same functions.
if I
as
lost
TI
it and
Aspire TX2. So
Watch
which
out,
one
you
is
see.
necessary?
lost the keys. Yes, I lost my keys. Oh.
Okay.
I always put it on that. Sometimes I put it on my backpack.
What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try it to see, and you can ask me a question through there. So I'm gonna show you how to do it.
No,
What?
it's just.
So, for quick footer, you said that we're gonna be graded on our on how much work you do. Put in. Is that still a grade?
Yeah, because you're gonna show us the result of things. Give me a second.
Mr. Yeah, do you have practice problems for the competition?
Yeah. For the mount.org, look it up calculus exam questions. So okay. Jesus. Answers everywhere. I left something here, food to eat, and then ants everywhere. All right. So if you still don't know how to use Inspire, so I'm gonna go through how to use Inspire, but I'm gonna be need a lot of help as well. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Are these calculators available?
Yeah, you can borrow for now. I don't know. That's the one that you're in.
Do you recommend the CX or the?
I recommend whatever works. I don't know how clear that is. You guys can see it.
Oh, yes, it was. Oh, she's sitting there now. Okay, okay. No, there's no matter. No, you take mine.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do another video going through this question with Inspire, not TI-84. Or should I do both?
What do you guys say? Can you post the homework first?
Yeah, can you post the work first? That sounds like.
I did. This is the work. This is the work. So you guys gotta take a picture of the work.
Yeah, but it's not on. What? It's not inspired, yeah. I can teach anyone here.
So this one is the work.
I'll shoot. I have a.
So let me post it on that first.
I'll tell you when it's
Actually, 7 minutes.
Why? Whoa. You usually know. I need someone to tell me the actual right answer when I can do the expression. You know that's how.
So you guys can take a picture of that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
It won't airdrop. Oh.
Can you put it on the show?
You just posted a WhatsApp. Hey, can you like take this off?
Hold on. Let me put it on the thing. Hold on. This one. I'm gonna post on Emoto. So you can try it first.
Oh, I didn't know what the police shirt is.
Why are you wearing a jacket?
What?
I've been wearing a jacket.
Oh, that makes more sense, yeah.
Wait, is it right? Oh, okay, that makes, okay. Okay.
Really? Yeah, exactly. What? Yeah, she's a very good runner.
Okay, so do you guys see it? I posted on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to listen to me. If you don't listen to me, it's fine because you can see it on the video. I will go through pretty much every single part, but I will do one first with I will try to do same thing on all of them. can't open this thing. Huh? I'm a recorder, yeah. Long as you don't over top.
What are the categories?
Motions. Motions. What? Yep. It doesn't matter, but your calculator, you're just going to plug in X. You don't want to do T because it doesn't matter for the calculator, T or X. It just matter of things.
Yeah. The only reason I downloaded the software was because
Do I put calculus or calculus?
Calculus 1 is fine.
Oh.
What'd you say?
There's a bunch of stuff like main category level style here.
What are you talking about?
For the website.
Oh, just do for the mao.org. So mao.org, and then it's gonna be, you look at a calculus regional, January probably. Usually that's a January February test. So February test is a little bit harder than January. They're pretty hard. Just recent year. For like say 2018.
And then there's a bunch of like different topics.
Calculus, just do calculus. Just use calculus, calc 1. Just calc 1.
But it's asking like only one.
Can you fix it? I don't know.
Don't do BC, just do AB.
That's the only one that's there. I think.
You're too picky. Just put it blank.
Oh.
Just say calc.
Oh, you can leave it blank?
Yeah.
Oh.
Leave calculus. It says get test. Boom. You can do 2017. It has answers and
It
solutions.
doesn't give you dimensional like awareness. You don't take six.
Cool. Thank you.
And yeah. Sheila, can you do me a favor? Can you throw, actually, Laurel, can you pass me that thing? The tape. It's gonna be a very.
Not just smarts. It
has all the features of smart.
Sorry, I have to go to my Go test to do.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Okay, no problem.
I just have to make a really ratchet tripod holder.
Is it for like a calculator tutorial?
Yeah.
Okay, it gets the job done.
I think that works.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
That gets the job done.
So let me print out your test first. So
Thank you.
you're a troublemaker.
You want a red pen?
Yeah.
Okay, it's over there. Sure, come on.
Thank you.
And all the clear markings that you need for the pen, all these different. We literally, oh, maybe you got one. Helps you grab one? Sure, that's still. Well, hey, add a contact.
As long as you give it back.
Where's the TI-84 Inspire?
Inspire.
Oh, well, it's Inspire. So, well, let's see the practice. Switch it. Yeah. Unless you can do each square.
I swear, yeah. Is it individual or team?
Okay.
You are gonna do both.
Oh, there's both?
Yep.
Okay.
Team is gonna be 4 of you guys, and they're gonna have to solve the problem.
Do you know what the teams are?
You can look at the team questions.
No, I mean, like, do you know what?
The first team is gonna be Nisha, Margot, Lucas, and maybe Eva. And the second team is gonna be you, Will, and maybe Tyson and Xavier. So for the math competitions.
Oh, oops, I forgot to mark the chat.
Did you didn't take the test or no?
Can I do test corrections?
Not yet. I haven't finished grading
Why
it.
does it say P equals 0? I don't get the point of that.
Okay, remember, alright, so look. Is like.
Hey, what is the name with this GMT?
I don't know.
Oh, what's GMT? Oh, SFT. Okay, it says, so basically S is 0. How?
I want to see what T is in velocity at T6.
I didn't grab it. What is it? What are you asking?
So I graphed the equation, E of x times sin of x.
Yeah.
And then I want to solve for find the velocity, isn't that just velocity?
Yeah. Literally just apply it. Equals
I haven't seen it.
No.
Right now I can't see it.
Okay. Hold on.
Put in the equation.
Yeah.
Put in the actual letter E.
Yeah. A is a constant. Bottom left.
It's a different E.
Yeah. That's that. Well, I guess it's not, but like, bottom left. What do you do? What do you say? How? You table those? Hey, you were just talking. Calling you. Just put the bottom left. Okay,